He typed a message he never wanted to send. "I'm sorry. It wasn't meant for his girlfriend or his mom or anyone in his life right now. It was for someone from a decade ago. A ghost." He'd spent days, weeks even, trying to find the courage to say it to the woman he had hurt so deeply 10 years ago. His thumb hovered over the name in his contacts, a name he hadn't touched in years. A stranger. He stared at the screen, his heart pounding in his chest. A delivered receipt. It was out there. What had he done? Panic began to set in. His fingers trembled as he typed back, trying to explain the unexplainable. "I'm so sorry. I meant to send this to someone I hurt. I don't even know why I typed it." He expected silence, maybe an annoyed wrong number text. But what came back was different. "It's okay. Tell me." Sometimes saying it out loud helps, and so he did. They began to text. The conversation wasn't dramatic or explosive. It was built on small, honest sentences. Just truth stripped bare. She told him about her mother, about the sharp, lingering pain of loss, especially when they're no longer there to ask for it. Her messages were simple, kind, and completely unassuming. There was no judgment, no easy advice, just a quiet understanding that felt like a safe harbor in the storm of his noisy life. Days turned into a week, and their messages became a small, sacred ritual. A daily cup of truth. It was a strange sort of connection, built entirely in the space between their screens, yet it felt more real than many of his face-to-face interactions. He found himself looking forward to her texts, to the shared vulnerability with someone who knew him only through his most honest words. Then one night, a picture message arrived. It was a photo of a small, cozy-looking bookstore bathed in the warm glow of a street lamp. A handwritten note was taped to the window, open at 6, beneath the photo. A simple message from her, "Come. I think some apologies need to be said face to face. And sometimes, wrong numbers lead to right places." Why was he even considering this? Meeting a stranger he'd texted because of a clumsy mistake. It was crazy. And yet, he knew he had to go. A sense of curiosity and hope he hadn't felt in a long time. So he went, his hands shoved deep into his pockets, his mind racing. He found the bookstore easily. She wasn't a stranger. Not really. It felt like he already knew her. She held out a small, plain envelope. "I believe this is for you," she said softly. His fingers fumbled as he opened it. Inside was a folded photograph, slightly worn at the edges. It showed two people, a man and a woman. He turned it over. A name was written on the back in elegant cursive, Emma. He looked up at her, confused. "My mother," she explained, her voice gentle. "To others and to ourselves, and in that moment." It wasn't pain this time, but something else. Something like relief. Like permission. The day he slammed the front door and never came back. About the angry, hurt letters he'd written but never sent. Letters that were now yellowing in a showbox under his bed. She just listened. She didn't offer pity or try to fix him. She just held the space for his confession with a careful, profound quiet that made the truth feel possible. When he finally finished, his voice raw with emotion, he felt lighter than he had in years. As he was getting ready to leave, she handed him the envelope back. "Margin. Strangers. Don't lose yours." He went home that night a different man. He looked at the letters he had been saving for. Someday, he took out the ones filled with rage and bitterness. They were small, imperfect, and deeply human. Some were still angry. he would often think back to that wrong number. To that Tiny, he came to understand that sometimes the real lesson wasn't about trying to fix the past. You can't. It felt like the beginning of everything. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If it resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Until next time, take care